Welcome to Confidence with Katheleen, hosted by me, Katheleen Diggle. Hey, welcome everyone to Confidence with Katheleen. Today, my special guest, it's Brandon Cullins. Brandon, thank you to accept to do that podcast with me. I know that this week was a big week for you, and you know you have a lot of things that went out, and thank you to have take that time to come here and talk with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
So can we start with your cats?
Yeah, my cats are awesome.
Yeah, I know how you love your cats. Yeah. Why not? Okay. Can you start with your cats? But how many do you have?
Three.
Yeah. I know that they are precious for you.
Yeah, two of them real good KB Ranch bred horses. Remember Blair? And then one of them just showed up.
Yeah, and he's a little bit...
a little crooked. Walks around kind of sideways, but...
Yeah, but I know how much you love them. You know, you talk all the time about your cats.
Oh yeah, they're there for me every day.
I know, and they follow you too.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. But no, seriously, you made something very special this weekend. So it was the American, and again, congratulations. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud, and for you and for Emily, and because I know all the work that you put on those horses and everything. So
I appreciate it.
Congratulations. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, but can you we had a lot of questions that we received, can you explain to us a little bit like what it is that race, the American, compared to the others? Do you feel a difference, or do you feel that stress more?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously it's way different because we just usually futurity, and it's a lot more laid back and different environment, and there it's just so different. Well, it's such a long process to get there, and that's kind of the stressful part is getting there, because it's kind of like a one you're done outside of that like redemption round they have. But so like getting there is really hard. Then when you're there, it's fun. It's just like stressful a little bit, like it's a free run. So and then just being in that stadium, and it's just a cool feeling.
Cool, with all the atmosphere and everything.
Yeah, and like when in the morning you get down there and you see like it's empty when they let you in for practice, but you kind of see how big it is and stuff. Then when you get down on the field when it's going on and the crowd's there, it was real, like it's loud, like kind of a dull roar, but it's almost above your head, so you don't hear it that much. But then you just kind of look up and you see all the people, and it almost looks fake because they're so far away. But except for Tammy, I did see Tammy right off.
You see Tammy, yeah. And I'm surprised you didn't hear me because I was just up there.
Right. You come out of the arena, I saw Tammy yelling. She looked like she's about 2 miles away.
Yeah.
But no, it's a different feeling. I think I was kind of nervous there because I felt like I had the horse to win it on, and but I felt like too, once I got on her back to go down there, that all went away. And then down there, I don't know, I've heard people talk about when you look up in the crowds, like getting nervous about the crowd, but I don't know, it was almost like you look up and see all those people, and it kind of just felt more fun than, I guess, nerves, I guess. But I don't know, it was a fun deal.
But it's not the first time that you went there so how many times did you
that was the 6th time I've made the finals.
The finals.
The 3rd time I made the Final Four.
And
first time I won it.
Yeah, first time you win. And what was the difference? You know, did you have something different? Yes, I'm feeling the horse was different too, because you didn't win. But even I remember, because I was there a few times with you, and each time you have really nice horses.
Yeah.
But what was the difference for you in that particular? Is it mentally, were you different, or it's the experience, or you really trust more your horse? I don't know. I'm just asking, what was the difference for you?
I feel like a lot is the same and a lot was different. that horse, for one, those other horses I've made it on there are also great horses. That the Sucker Punch, I mean, Drug Barrels, the 2 years he was there to be fast both times. Then and that Sharpie had won the semifinals before, and then Cornerstone was always fast, but the setup kind of hindered him the way it was in the past. But she just kind of, every situation you put that horse in, she seemed like she just found a way to win, and that was, I feel like, real important. Then this setup was probably the most even setup I've seen it be there, like kind of at a straight alleyway. The barrels were centered in the arena, and I think that helped a lot. Then I guess being there enough time and kind of knowing what to expect, that always helps. And then before, like the Wednesday before the finals there, I went to Sherry's, as I had ran that mare at where was it, Arizona, and she won the first round of the Derby. Then I would have won the second round, but hit a barrel, and then went to Glenrose for that big league deal, and I drug barrels she would have broke the arena record there. And then I ran her the Monday later at the jackpot at 377 just to get another good run in on her before I left, and she drug a barrel there to break the arena record. So it's kind of getting in my head a little bit, and I told Emily like a few days before that I wanted to go talk to Sherry a little bit because she was close, and I mean, how many times she's been to the NFR, like 19 or something like that. And, she would understand like how that, because it's a little bit out of my realm there, is going to a rodeo with one run, one horse, and I mean they let you in there, but it's not like the futurities where you kind of can prepare for.
Yeah, you have exhibition and then more times too.
So I when I come out of the arena at 377, before I even stopped and had that horse pulled up, Sherry was like walking in, and like as I was pulling up, I stopped next to her and I told her I needed help. So it just kind of worked out that she was right there. And then I spent probably a couple hours, but more than a couple hours there. I think we rode 2 horses. I was there pretty much all day, more just talking and riding a little bit. But that really helped. And kind of talking with somebody that can
understand the pressure, understand the game and everything.
Yeah, that definitely helped, and kind of just ways that she kind of dealt with it and kept it all together, and definitely used some stuff she told me to do that helped for sure.
To relax or to be more prepared before going there.
Yeah, and during it and all that, yeah.
Oh,
so I think that helped.
That helped you a lot, and yeah, you made it enough time too to see. Now you can see the difference that it really works. So it's a lot of about mentality to the things like that.
Absolutely.
That's good. So what that old, it's a big word if I compare to me, but what is Brendan now? We'll say to Brendan, like the young one when you start, because it's been a while that you are in the industry and everything. What can you give him like an advice?
I'd say go with the ups and downs. Like I know there's times I wanted to quit, and glad I didn't. But I don't know. I guess it all works out when you keep going after it and keep always trying to get better. Like never get complacent. I feel like just keep always trying to get better, but be confident in what you know to do that, and don't second guess yourself too much. But that's probably the best thing I could say.
The best advice, and that's a good one too. And keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even because I know we have some young, even men or young men or women that listen to that podcast, but and they want to do that. They want to go like as professional barrel racer. What will you tell them? Because I know you win that million, but it's been a while that you are there. It's not something like that.
Yeah, so. It's not overnight for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's been a long time. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time now. Like sitting back thinking about how long it's been a lot longer than I even realized. But well, I think I've told this before, but like the futurity thing, that's my whole, like that's what I love. That's what I do. But I went to the BFA futurity the first time in 2007, and the first time I won a check was 2012. So you can call me a lot of things, you can't call me a quitter.
Yeah, no, you...
Went and donated a lot, and I remember years ago when Cornerstone first started winning, when I was getting my checks in the office at some big barrel race, this woman asked where I came from. I was like, I've been here a long time, you just never heard my name. I've been here a while, but so I think there's that, like, but you don't just step out there and be good. It takes a long time. And anything good, it's not going to be easy, I feel like.
So make the effort and push yourself through it.
You learn more from losing than you do winning.
That's good. And I think too now, like with Emily, you have, I know you, both of you, like pretty well too, but you are a team too, and I'm feeling that. Is that helping you? Is that good?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, well, she's been there. If we're just talking about the American, she's been there for the first one. Like the first time we ever hung out was the first time I made it to the finals. Yeah, so she's been there for all of them. But yeah, it always helps having somebody that understands and knows, and like she's been on the highest level too. I mean, she's won over $500,000 since she started, and just rodeoing a little bit and then futurity, and so having somebody like that with you every day, and like I said, we ride together every day, and different things that bounce ideas off each other. She sees things that I was doing wrong. Before the Oklahoma City deal for the American, she said something about how I had been working horses a certain way, how I would kind of got away from one thing that I was doing, and that's the one thing I changed between the round I hit a barrel on Seeger to the one she ran real fast in the finals, and I feel like that little thing probably is what got her through there. So I mean, credit Emily to that, having her there to see that and point it out to me, and then be able to help me change that. So stuff like that obviously makes a big deal, because I wouldn't have been there. Period.
Yeah, for sure.
Wouldn't have got past that.
Oh, that's cool. But yeah, and I know, and Emily, she's, oh my God, she's so patient to be.
Not wrong.
I'm kidding, but you know, you make a good team.
Oh, yeah.
I can say that you really make a good team together. So, you know, you were saying about dragging the barrel and everything. How do you keep the horse like confident, and how do you yourself being confident and you go through it?
Depends on certain situations. Like that situation, I feel like she was just so sharp and ready that, and then also that I having been there 5 times, in the back of your mind you're always thinking, damn, don't fuck this one up again, like this, and you have the horse to win it. So I feel like that was a little bit more probably of it than the training part. So it's kind of riding too defensive, which will make those things happen. So I really think like that day, talking with Sherry and kind of getting through that there probably made the difference. And then like between rounds there at the American, that mare, when you have a horse like that, it's hard to explain if you've never had the opportunity to run one like that. But they're so, I don't know how it's like, they're sharp, they're malleable, you can change them so easy. So like before the long round, I wanted to make sure she got around the barrel, so I kept her super unlocked and round, and just kind of kept her following her nose, and broke through her ribs, and never drew her back through herself, and never rocked her back or anything. And I feel like that's why she had a little ground trouble, was because I kind of had her really round. And then, but getting through that to the Final Four, then before the finals, I just kind of got on her and squared her off a little bit. So like, once you have your kind of mind straight, and then you can change those horses in that situation.
And when you know your horses too.
Oh yeah, you have to really know them to what to do and when not to do it. Because I feel like horses on that level that, like I literally loped 2 circles each direction to square her off, and that's what sharpened her up for the finals. And like, you can overdo it in a hurry. So it's not knowing what to do and what not to do, I think. And that's, I guess, probably comes from those 20 years of experience and screwing it up.
Yeah, and making mistakes, and you learn from those mistakes, and
Absolutely.
Okay, and what about her? Can we talk about Sager a little bit? So I know you talk a lot about her, and because she's a part of that success too. You know, she's a pretty good mare.
Yeah.
But can you talk about her? What you like with her, and how when did she arrive in your life?
About a year and a half ago, I guess, October of her 5-year-old year. So Rael Little trained her, and they were moving from Canada down to Eastland here, and she ran her, I think, like at Buckeye, one of the futurities, and clocked really well on her, but then they're in the process of moving, so she didn't really have time to do all that. So Marcy Wilson, her family owns a Goodbye Lane, she took her for the summer and futurity there and kept her through Pink Buckle. Then after Pink Buckles, when Rael was taking her home, and I had just happened to meet Rael and Grant probably maybe a month or two before that through another owner. He was down at our house picking a horse, swapping horses out, and he had bought some horses from Grant and Rael, but talked to him on the phone, but never met him. So he said he was going to their place to meet him, asked if we'd go with him. So we did, and that's kind of how we met. Then. And like we didn't talk about we talked about horses, but not like that. We talked a little bit about her because Marcy had clocked really good on her, just kind of drug barrels here and there. But Marcy showed and Rael too how great of a horse she was. So like we talked a little bit about that. Then after the Pink Buckle, they called to see if I would try to ride her a little bit because Rael wasn't going to go, and they're still in the process of getting everything settled. So they brought her to the house, and I rode her for like 10 or 15 minutes while they were there, and you could feel she was a super athlete, and I'd already seen what they had done with her, so I told me I would try her, and that's kind of how she ended up there.
Okay, and we have some question about her too, because there's some people that they saw her a little bit. How do you deal with her character or what she's doing? Like,
yeah, she's different, but real proud of herself. I mean, a little quirky, a little watchy, but not bad. But leading her around, and like she's a little bit like a bull. Like she knows where she wants to go, and you're on the ground and stuff. And riding, she rides really good. She's really broke. Does everything you want. Sometimes at home, like she'll get kind of bored, want to get a little goey, or just I think disinterested probably. So yeah, Reese would work. That works for us. She would long jog her out in the field and kind of free ride her a lot, and I feel like that helped her a bunch. Just because that horse is so receptive to everything you do. So anytime you want to move or place or something, she's trying to do what you ask her. And sometimes the trainer and me struggles and just letting one be and free ride. So I'd have Reese get on her and just kind of let her do that, and I feel like that really helped her a lot and helped her like settle in and become more confident where she puts her feet and let her take over more instead of just being so reactive.
And listen to you all the time.
Yeah. But then when you go get on her to go run, she's like a different horse. It's just like the game face gets on, and she gets super relaxed and just real confident, real soft. Just everything just is right there. And then like down in the holding pens and stuff, you couldn't ask her to be any more chill. And like the long rounds, we were standing there waiting and just walking circles, and she's just cool as can be. And then for the finals, I was first out, so wasn't really sure like when they're going to tell me to run or where I needed to be. So I just was standing directly behind the gate while they were setting the barrels up. And like she's just standing there flat-footed, like you can't feel her heart beating or anything. She's just waiting patiently to run. Then they opened the gate and told me to go and just trot down the alleyway and then take off. Like she's just all business when it comes to that.
That's cool. Talking about that, how do you, when you have horses, you said that you try her and you feel that yes, it works for you, or yes, you can, do something. What do you look in a horse? What do you like to have when you try one or buy one, or for others that bring you horses and you can feel that it fit for you or not?
Yeah. Well, like her, that's an exception. I think like you don't feel that way she feels that often in one, and it's something that's, I don't know that I can explain, but everything feels effortless, like, and that's hard to, like, if it's a prospect, you can't expect that, but that horse would, been run and showed it was talented, so like everything you did just felt effortless to her, like there was no resistance, everything, and when you asked, it wasn't like there's a hitch here, then she went, everything just smooth. So like, I think that's and well, I think I've told this story other times before, but like that VQ Sucker Punch, I feel like he was like the first great one that I got to train and be around from the beginning. And he was at the Colt Breakers for I think 60 or 90 days. Lil Graham broke him, and I've rode a bunch from behind him all since then, and he does a great job. But I got on him, and I just remember I kind of pulled the rein, and he just come through himself like butter, and I was like, I've never felt that before, but I'm pretty sure that's right. And they just, I don't know, like I said, you can't really explain it, but when you feel it, you'll know it.
You know it.
Yeah. But when it comes to me looking for prospects and stuff, when they come, like, I like them, we only like them about like 45, 60 days on them. I don't like them to get too much done, because I don't think people realize how important breaking them is, and like that sticks with those horses forever. And like, I can't speak for all barrel racers, but for me and how I like to train and ride, I kind of like up and forward. So like one like Luane always kind of rode one back forward, and he never would mess with their face too much, but their face was like super soft because he had them collected and drove up underneath of them, and they're moving out. So I think when a horse is moving forward, to me they feel a lot better. Like, we've always struggled with the ones that are too bridled up, or when you're too back, and that's really hard to get out of one. So like, if I feel one like that and I'm thinking about if I'm going to keep it or not, I'm probably not going to keep that one.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the one where I can put the rein in and move them up and around. Like, that's what I'm looking for, like, training wise. And ability wise, it's hard to know, as long as it's something you just kind of go with what you feel over the years. But and conformation's hard too, because Seeger's one though, you couldn't draw a better looking horse, but she's a little bit smaller and blockier too, which if I was to pick one, I would want her conformation, but a little leaner and taller. But obviously she's probably the best horse I ever rode.
Yeah, so you didn't pick well.
No,
you need to change your...
The more I know, the less I know. The more I learn, the less I know, I feel like.
Yeah.
But that for me, and I like one with this, has a headset that slightly comes up a little bit as opposed to being level or down or too far up. But I mean, and also other horses I've rode that are kind of funny looking horses, they're not made that great, they just wanted to win. So it's hard to get over heart and try like that, which I think that's what separates Seeger from a lot of horses. She has like the guts that most horses don't, and the conformation to go with it. So I think that's what makes a big difference with her.
A big difference, yeah. So with Seeger, I know you have a lot of horses too at home. Do you have because we had that question too, do you have a program, I know you're training, but to help them to feel good, what is the team that you have around, but to like for a feeding program, do you have something that you follow, that you prefer one of the other? Or?
Yeah, like feeding wise, we feed which I've fed a lot of different things over the years, but the main thing that stays the same is good alfalfa. Like, we feed the riding horses get cubes, and then the breeding horses and stuff that's turned out in the younger ones, we have big squares of alfalfa that we feed. But that, and then we feed, I think, Bluebonnet, the Mega Force is for the riding horses, and they have like a growth and development that we feed the growing horses and broodmares and stuff. Because I've tried to do the cheap route and it just doesn't work, and like that stuff's fairly expensive a bag, but I think per day, per month, it's a lot cheaper when you do it that way. Trial and error. I've learned.
You learned.
Yeah. Like that. So I feel pretty good about our feed program. We don't overcomplicate it there. They get about 20 pounds of cubes a day, and I don't know, the grain is probably 3/4 a scoop, half a scoop twice a day, because they don't, when you feed that other stuff, you don't have to feed as much. And I kind of like that. I feel like too much grain will run you into trouble, which it has for me in the past anyway. And then we keep ours out a lot, like most of the time, as much as possible. They're in like either 80 by like 200 or 300 runs, or then the other ones are 40 by the same distance, 200 or 300, and they've run in sheds and stuff, and they're all lined up next to each other, so it's kind of like they're in a herd but separate. And I don't know, they feel happier to me that way. I feel like when we keep them stalled up, they kind of get antsy, and just, I don't know, if I get locked in a room, I'm not real happy either. So I feel like that's helped us. I think soundness wise, I feel like that keeps them, when they're moving all the time, I feel like it's better for their joints and their ligaments and all that. I mean, I'm not a vet, I don't know, but I just feel that way, so take that for.
But if you can feel too that your horse are more happy, then you already have some time that before you have that place that the horse were more in a stall, and you can compare too.
Yeah, and you have to train on them harder when they're in the stall. Like, you had to kind of, the first 5-10 minutes would be riding the fresh off of them, and riding them harder to get that off. So, and I imagine that's got to be harder on their body too. But yeah, I don't know. That's how I like to keep them, and had pretty good luck so far with.
Talking about, like feeding program and thing, but for the stomach, do you do, like, because we had that question, and I know that a lot of horses, they had that problem. Do you do something special that you had, like supplement wise, or you keep something on them when like the American, or if you would go to the Futurity, like a big race?
Yeah, when we're hauling, we use Succeed and like an omeprazole with the compound, like depending on where we get it. Sometimes like omeprazole sucralfate, and we used to get the omeprazole ranitidine. I don't think we can get that. It's harder to get now. And then they have like omeprazole fenbendazine.
Yeah.
But like whatever our vet kind of points us in the right direction, and keeping good vets and listening to them is pretty important. I mean, I'm not a vet, but I listen to my vets, so they know I don't. So I kind of, you might want to ask them that question, but.
But what you do, that it works for you right now.
Yeah, I try to do that. And then I know, like, we haven't been able to try it yet, but like the horses that we keep on, like we suspect have actual ulcers, and we're not just trying to prevent them from stress, like doing the 30-day stuff. We've been looking into some stuff, like Blue Bonnet just gave us something that like when they come off that omeprazole for 30 days, they say like the gut kind of goes into overdrive producing acid again. So we're trying to use a supplement that they gave us to kind of fight that. Because I know in years past I've noticed that like they do really good for 30 days. You take them off of it, and then they kind of go backwards for a little bit.
Yeah.
And now, like, seeing some of the research that we've looked up, like we haven't done it, but read the stuff. But I guess when the omeprazole turns those acid pumps off, then when it's not there to turn it off, they go into overdrive and produce a bunch. I hate that I don't remember what that stuff is called now. It might be Stride, I'm not sure.
Okay, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But
mean,
it's something
to buffer the stomach, like a what do you call that? Like what you get over the counter for an upset stomach.
Pepto-Bismol.
Something like that, yeah.
So like a Pepto-Bismol.
Like something to coat the stomach, yeah.
Coat the stomach, yeah.
Like a different kind of drug than omeprazole, I guess.
Yeah, that can help and balance the pH and everything.
Yeah, but like I said, don't take my word for it. There's other people that know way more than me.
But that's fine. We are not here talking about
Yeah.
supplement necessarily, you know. Good. I know you were talking about like your vet, and you listen to your vet, and even if I'm not sure you listen all the time or you remember all the time, can we say that?
Yeah. I listen, it's just to follow through.
Yeah, that's one thing. But you have your vet, and I know you do like others therapy with your horse. So can you, what do you like and what do you prefer to work, and you see that makes a huge difference?
Well, vets too. Like we have more than just one. Like Well, I've used Reese at ESMS forever, just since it's been started coming out, and he's like been with us for I don't know, since forever anyway. But we used to fly him up to Maryland when we were there, so we always go to him a lot. And then other vets that we use, like Eric Moore, we use him a lot. And I feel like when you kind of go, sometimes you go back and forth, or it's good to have, I think, that when the vets can talk to each other too. Because I know, just like when we're training horses and we ride with other trainers all the time, and well, like what Emily said to me that day at Oklahoma City about one thing that I changed that I hadn't even noticed I changed, and I don't understand exactly how vet working goes, but I know that it's not something you just read out of a book.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's cookie cutter. So I feel like that's something you always, it's kind of the same but different. So we've had good luck doing that. Then like the other therapies and stuff we've used, like if we have issues or something, that AccuScope, we've had a lot of luck with that, especially on cuts and wounds and stuff, or just, and then getting over other internal injuries and stuff like that. I've had a lot of luck with that. Then trying to think what else, like the saltwater spa, like I think that's, if they get a little foot sore or something just from being on the road or standing on concrete stalls, I think it's great for that. And I'm sure other things too, but then you,
me,
you call that a therapy? Or?
Yeah, I'm not that, it depends.
Yeah.
Can we say no, but I try to help you to keep your horse,
The stuff that, like, I feel like you've been really good on stuff that we can't figure out, and telling me when my horses are mad at me and things like that.
That's, I remember, so it's been a while that we worked together, but I remember one time that, oh my God, that,
Stoney.
He was mad. Like, I don't want to repeat all the word that he was saying, and even I didn't know you that much that day, but I was like, okay, your horse is so mad at you, is like...
Yeah, well, and two, which if it wasn't for you, we would have never known that was the issue, that it was just something as simple as his shoulder being out, because we had him at the vet the week before and he flexed down, but in all theories he should have been doing what we needed him to do, and then the fact that, that all he had to do is take him to Daryl and get chiropractic on, and then he changed.
Yeah, and he was so mad, I remember. He was like, he tried to make me do it, I can, and then I tried to show him, and then he keep asking, and he was mad. And it was just that shoulder, so that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that, not that I didn't believe in you before, but I believe more.
Like, because you went straight after that to the chiro, and he really said, oh my God, that horse, it was.
Well, I didn't know Daryl that well then, but I knew Reese. So, and I think Reese didn't know you that well yet either. And I called Reese's hand and I said, I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but this woman just told me that something's wrong with Stoney's shoulder, so I need to bring him in again. And he said, I think you're crazy, but come on. And I didn't know Daryl, and then that's kind of around when I found out it wasn't cool to be a guy barrel racer out here. So I went to Daryl and he asked if anything was wrong. I just said, no, I don't know, just go look at him. I didn't want to tell him
that I was talking with.
So he takes him in there and he goes down his left side and he's talking to me and everything's fine. Then he's looking at me, he's talking like this, kind of going down his other side, and he hits that spot on his shoulder that you told me where it was. And I mean, Stoney wheeled around and tried to bite the hell out of him. And he's like, oh, he's pretty sore there. He's like, do you know that? I'm like, no, sure didn't. No idea. But now Daryl knows you. I know Daryl well enough. Like, you guys work together too. But yeah, and then that's when Emily was riding him then too, and made the finals at San Angelo and got second in the finals. And but yeah.
And I think it was almost, was it at one of the qualifications for the American too?
Oh, it was right before when he made it to, it was right before all that too, and he made it to, made it back to the finals at AT&T that year. But I remember that, and I know you were looking at me like, no, I don't care about about your face. I can tell you what I want, but no, not what I want, what the horse wants to say, but that's fine. So no, yes. And it's made me look at things different too. Like, to step back, I never really thought what the horse was thinking that much, and that's changed over the past few years, I feel like. about a better way to making them understand or helping them understand what you're trying to do, and see if they're trying to tell you something rather than, no, you're going to do this because I asked you to.
Actually ask you to do it.
Yeah.
It's more, sometimes, they cannot do it. Or the bit, I know we have some conversation too about what the horse as you the bit and things like that.
You didn't need to tell me on that one, though.
No,
He
I
told
know,
me.
I know.
I know which one you're talking about on Max.
Yeah. And you have to, I know that Alex to go massage your horse, and for you, I know she's going a lot, you know, so for you it's important too. And and you have the Caro too. You have Daryl, but you have others, Caro.
Kim Gillespie comes in. But Alex probably comes at least once or twice a month and does like 10 or 12 of them.
Yeah, and then you do the Caro too, and to keep on that. Because I'm feeling, yes, the vet can do a part, but when all...
Yeah, it's a whole big...
team, everyone...
There's a lot that goes into it. Like, you get one thing fixed, but there's still other things around it that makes a big part, I think.
And the farrier too. Farrier is very important. I'm feeling a good farrier change...
Yes.
A lot of things.
It sure will.
It helps, and then when it's bad, it's bad. Yeah. So now that you know how the American and everything, I know this week was a tough week. But after that, what is your plan? What do you plan to do after the everything will set? I know you will have
same as I was before.
Okay.
Keep training. I guess you were talking about earlier, I have a stud right now. He's a 4-year-old that I'm running this year. He's, I'm hoping for my retirement plan, but he's a goodbye lane, and his mother is the same mother as VQ Sucker Punch, so the goodbye lane is the same sire as Seeger, that just won the American there, and then the first time I ever made the American was on VQ Sucker Punch, so kind of like a little bit of a mix between them.
A mix between them, so.
But yeah, I think he's won right about 50 or so, but he feels like that, he's got that ungodly speed, and he feels like that kind of special, so I've kind of just been trying to slowly bring him to it, and I don't know, I think he's just kind of special, a little bit next level, so he's pretty high on the list of priorities to keep getting trained and keep hauling. Then next year we'll probably stand him. But that's been, other than that, it's the same as always. Just a new group of colts and try to train as best as you can.
And keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. So talking about that stud and with Seeger, what is the similarity that things that looks the same?
Yeah.
That you look for and you feel that he got.
Yeah, they're very similar, very different. He's a lot bigger. Like I said, if I was gonna pick one, it would be him. He's a little, not quite as blocky, a little bit taller, a little racier, but there's still a lot of same to him. Like riding them around, they just float. Like they just have that kind of athletic feel. Just walking at a walk, you can feel it in them. And running wise, when they're just riding too, they're so quick-footed. Like they can be here and there so fast and still be under themselves and have control of their body. Running wise, both of them are just ungodly fast. Like they can run, and then they both don't really rate. They just run in there, stick a leg, and turn around. They don't waste any time slowing down when they get there. They just run to the backside, then stick it and come back. And I feel like that's what really makes one clock hard. Like he's run some pretty big numbers, and obviously Seeger has. So I think, but that's what makes them, capable of doing that. And then he's been a lot. Like I say, I think his biggest downfall is his testosterone. But that's just any horse you're going to keep a stud, you're going to have to work through that. But like those are the only issues I've had with him, like struggles, I guess I'd say I'd have with him training wise. But when it comes to actually being on his back and working him and asking him to do things and showing him how to do it, he's been like so easy. And that's one thing that I'm excited about riding his babies. Like there's one, Reese, that works for his, she's got the first one ever, the only one right now. So I think we bred about 10 just to kind of see what he was going to do. We didn't. We only. I think we only sold one. The rest were like ours or really close friends. So we didn't really want to stand him to the public or like sell him yet. I just wanted to see what he was going to do, and I collected him as a 2-year-old to see if his semen was good because I didn't want to have a stud just to have a stud.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm getting real excited about him now that we're gonna like just how he was to train, and then that he came on and he shows that he can be a winner. So I'm really excited about riding his colts. Like I feel like they aren't just gonna be nice horses. I feel like they could be, which you don't know because they're not even on the ground, but just like I don't feel like he's that kind of horse that's just gonna place everywhere and just be that solid horse. I feel like he's the kind of horse that you can be like, holy shit, how they run that. So that's what really gets me excited about him and his babies.
What is his register name?
Good Things Coming.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Hopefully.
I hope so too, and I really hope so for you too.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So there's something new too, something big that's coming. It's your wedding.
Yep.
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
I know it will
open
be
bar.
fun.
You
Open
ready?
bar. I'm ready.
Yeah. I think everybody else is ready for you.
I'm not sure about that, but anyway. So we know that you get married with Emily, and I'm very happy for both of you, you know. But can you talk about your business? What is the name of your business?
Yeah, it's 1062 barrel horses. And you just want to know why that name that?
Yes, I would like to know why you picked that name.
So when I had an LLC in Maryland, it was just Brandon Cullins barrel horses. But then when me and Emily bought this place here and we were moving out, and I needed a Texas LLC. So I closed the other one. Then we needed a name for it, and I'm not good at names or anything. So I was just riding around one day and trying to think of a name for it, and I got to thinking it was Brandon and Emily, and then our initials is B and E, and then something like that, breaking and entering. So I just Googled what was the police code for breaking and entering, and then somewhere in the world it's 1062.
Okay.
Which Grant that owns Seeger. He's in the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and the 1062 is a different code up there. So I guess it's different everywhere, but somewhere it's breaking and entering.
Okay.
But yeah, that's how we come up with that.
That's cool. So before we close, we start with your cats because I know how you love them, and we talk a lot about things, but we need to talk about your saddle. What is it so special about that saddle? Or
well, the one in that picture that I saw somebody showed me on Facebook, that's an old Caldwell that I've had. That's like the first really good, the first saddle I had that wasn't a trophy saddle really, and I traded it for 2 months of riding from Doug Kurtzetter, and I think it's it's about 20 years old now, but I don't know, that one just fits like a glove. I love it. It's got a spear coming out for a saddle horn. I have a scar on my chest for one time that one dashboarded me, but I don't know, it just fits good, it rides good. But the one I actually I ran Seeger in that for a good while. Then I'm not real sharp on keeping everything together, so I think we were somewhere else at a jackpot and resaddled Seeger with this other saddle that's in the one they called the Dusty saddle.
Mm-hmm.
Emily had bought that from Jane Fambro a couple years ago used, and it was a wider fit, and it fit Seeger really well. And I ran her somewhere with it, and it felt really good. So then and she clocked good, so just superstition said I got to leave that saddle on her. So,
that's it.
Yeah. But I don't know. Those are two saddles I use a lot, and I know that they fit really well. They fit the horse good. They fit me good, and just comfortable. I don't know. And no, I don't think I'll fix it. It's fine. Or if I do fix it, it'll feel different. So.
Yeah, so no, you cannot touch it. You need to keep it that way.
Yeah.
I agree with that. and I know that your horse, the saddle doesn't hurt them, and you know that too.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah, the underside I had that redone like 5 or 6 years ago. The fleece and all that on that one that's ate up on the back, but I just did that.
That's it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Hey, Brandon, again, congratulations. You deserve that winning because I know you work hard for that. And congratulations again. And we will have an episode one day with Emily after the wedding because right now she's pretty busy, but we will have an episode with her too. And so I just want to thank you. I really appreciate that you take your time and to come here and do that podcast with me.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Please make sure to follow, like, share, subscribe on all my social media, and don't forget to leave me a review. If you want to learn more about me, visit my website, horseconfidence.com with a K, where you can also order my book.